guys? M.V.K here, back again. Welcome back to the Opinion Spot as well. The last opinion spot for the month of February, actually. So I gave you guys 2 opinion spots this week, and it all was centered around Black History Month. First one was I did my Mount Rushmore of black superheroes. This time around, we're dealing with something that kind of is kind of cool because it's actually gearing up for next month, which we get X-Men 97. So I decided to do my top 10 Black X-Men. Characters who have been or are currently still with the X-Men. Practically everybody is on the X-Men these time around who happen to be black. So I thought I'd do that this time around, give you another list. You guys seem to enjoy the list. It kind of also gives you a little bit of insight of me, what I like and what I don't like. So yeah, let's kick this off. This should be fun. You probably have some of the same that I have, and you may not have some of the same ones I have. But in retrospect, you may also get educated on certain characters. So let's do this. Number 1 on the list, with no regard, everybody should know, and everybody shouldn't be a surprise. Storm. The number 1 uber black X-Men. We all know Storm, Omega level mutant. She is also the queen of Mars, quote unquote, because her and the rest of the Omega level mutants terraformed Mars in the Marvel universe to make it livable and breathable. It's crazy. It just shows how powerful mutants can be. But Storm, we all know her. She first appeared in 1975, Giant Size X-Men, and went on from there to be one of the most recognizable characters. I enjoy her as a leader. She is my favorite field leader of the X-Men. But in retrospect, nobody can ever say anything bad about Storm. Nobody. If you do, then I something wrong with you. That's just the best way I look at it. Just saying. Number 2 on the list, we're going with Mr. Everett Thomas. For all who don't know who that is Sync. Most people have been jumping on Sync now because how he's been used in the current comics now. But I'll go back with Sync. I've been rocking with this dude since Generation X. That's how long I've been rocking with him. Now I believe now they have stated that he is an Omega level mutant, because it was always questioned, did he reach that status? And I believe now he has. Basically, he is so in tune with his powers. Basically, his code name speaks for itself. He can sync up with anybody in his vicinity, any mutant. So pretty much he can copy their powers and stuff better than Rogue can. See, Rogue has to touch. Sync, he just has to be in their vicinity, and this colorful rainbow, multicolor aura comes around him, and that's basically him syncing up with you. So it's really cool. He's really grown in popularity now, and I'm happy for him. I think personally now, like I said, there are a lot of people who are looking at this character and be like, they're saying, oh, he's cool. How long has he been around? Like I said, he's been around since Generation X, when they first started the team, when Banshee and Emma Frost, and when Jubilee was on the team. That's how long he's been around. So, but yeah, Sync is cool. Everett is cool. He's a really good character, and I'm glad they've been using him. Jerry Dugan and all of them have used him pretty damn well. Yeah, he's worth it very much. Number 3 on the list, we go with Lucas Bishop. What can I say about Bishop? Bishop is great. They have given him, the only thing I will say about Bishop, what I will never forgive him for is what happened in Civil War. When Tony Stark and them came to ask the X-Men for help, and the X-Men said, no, we're not taking sides, blah, blah, blah. Who snuck off from the X-Mansion and out of the bushes to help? Yeah, Bishop. I won't forgive him for that. I won't forgive him for going crazy and going after Cable and Hope Summers. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. It was just weird. But outside of that, I love Bishop. Bishop he's a cop. He's really like a cop. But his powers always was cool to me. His bio, he can absorb he's like a battery. He can absorb the bioenergy that you use and send it right back. But it's also a detriment to him as well. And I've always wondered about that. Even when I started reading Bishop, I was like, okay, how much can he absorb before maybe he overloads and things like that? We kind of got a sense of that in Days of Future Past, which was not good. But I love Bishop. I think a lot of people forget that Bishop was born in Australia. Him and his sister were born in Australia, not in America. So I think a lot of people forget that. But still, he's a great character. I'm glad to see that he's going to be on the team in X-Men 97. I think we still haven't seen the best adaptation of him in any X-Men movie yet. So hopefully we will see that someday. I know Method Man still wants to play the character. he still says, I want to play Bishop. I love Meth, but I think somebody else could play. No offense, Meth, but I think somebody else could play Bishop. 4 on the list we go to is Monica St. Croix. M. I just saw a tweet from my friend Gail Simone talking about how fascinated she is about Monica. And I'm like, yeah, I've known her she's another one that since Generation X. Monica is a mutant, and there's points I don't understand how she's not an Omega level mutant. She basically is a Kryptonian in the Marvel Universe. That's with extra powers. So imagine a Kryptonian in the Marvel Universe, but with telepathic powers and things like that. There you go. That's how strong she is. Everything Superman and Supergirl and Power Girl, all the Kryptonian characters, she can do that. She can do that. She is that strong. She's a powerhouse. And she is just by far downright scary when she wants to be. And last thing I read with her outside the X-Men book, she was in Black Panther, and it was literally, I was like, oh my God, T'Challa, you better be careful. But yeah, I love Monica. She's great. Monette, I keep saying Monica. Monette St. Croix. Excuse me, I said Monica. Why did I say Monica? I'm thinking about Photon. But yeah, Monette St. Croix. She's great. She's great. Very good indeed. Or M. That's what we call her, M. Number 5 on the list we go to is Cecilia Reyes. Now, right there's probably somebody wait. Cecilia Reyes, isn't she Latino? Yeah, she's Afro-Latino. She and they make no qualms about it. You look at every rendition of her in the comics. She got dark skin. She's got tan, brown skin. She does not hide that. However, they fucked that up live action, didn't they? And that is one of the reasons why I did not care for New Mutants. Fuck that movie. That movie was a disservice to all those characters to a degree. And Cecilia Reyes was in that movie. Now, for anybody who doesn't know Cecilia Reyes' powers, she first of all, she's a doctor. That's cool. Right there. That right there gives you, she's cool. So she went to the X-Men to learn how to control her powers. She never thought about joining the team and doing all she just wanted to be able to control her powers. But unfortunately, when you train with the X-Men, you are going to be a part of the fight for mutant rights and things like that. She's also got her own practice. But her powers is simple. She can make force fields. She can make force, and it's not just around her. She can make it around somebody else. And she's a very defensive X-Men. Like, her powers are more defensive than offensive. Though there have been some times where she has done offensive things with her shields. So it's really interesting, but she's more defensive than offensive. And I like that about Cecilia. People need to realize, yes, she is Afro-Latino. She's half black and half Puerto Rican, similar to Miles Morales. And yeah, Hollywood just screwed that up, didn't they? Yeah. But outside of Hollywood, comic-wise, they keep her exactly what she is. And she's had a few things with Gambit as well. Gambit is a ladies' man. Well, he's married now. He's married to Rogue. But yeah, Rogue. Rogue. Sorry. But yeah, Cecilia Reyes. Number 6 on the list, we go to the only Wakandan mutant in the X-Men. Wakandan, that means from Wakanda, right? Yeah. We're called Gentil. Gentil is a young man now. He's not so young anymore, but he has what is known as extreme strength. Basically, Gentil, his powers was a real detriment to him because they were killing him, actually. Basically, what is extreme strength meaning, he looks skinny at one point and then he gets jacked, real jacked up, like seriously, like jacked up to the point where he's at a higher level, and at the same time it was killing him. So Wakandans text use, like, they put these vibranium tattoos on him to kind of help control his powers in a sense, because if he overexerts his powers, like, he'll pass out. Now, after a while, Jean Grey helped him conquer that. So now he's fully in control, and that doesn't happen to him anymore. It is said that Gentil, at his strength, is at the same level. He can go toe-to-toe with the Hulk. Again, there's a lot to that, but yeah, he can. Gentil is a very interesting character. He's still around now. And I really enjoy that character very much. With the last book that I saw him in, he's in X-Men Red, and he finds out that he was actually working for Black Panther. And Storm already knew that, but yeah, he was working for him. Number 7 on the list we go to is Roberto da Costa, aka Sunspot. Another character that Marvel has at one point started to erase his blackness for a while, and then, because if you look at Sunspot from the beginning, and then you look at him like early 2000s and maybe mid 2000s, they started making him lighter and lighter instead of having him being Afro-Brazilian, because that's what he is. When you look at him before, because in all honesty, his powers emerged through racism. That was the one thing that people, I think, forget about how his powers didn't just activate because he went through puberty like most mutants do. His powers activated because he was a form of racism. He was playing soccer, football, and the white Brazilians didn't like that, and they started to beat up on him, and his powers activated. Now, Sunspot to me is interesting because if you look at his power set, it's like, how come he's not on an Omega level? The things that Sunspot can do is crazy, and I'm just like, from his solar manipulation to his solar absorption when he turns fully black and things like that, it's just, he can get super strong, super durable, all kinds of stuff, but we don't get to see that as much in terms of, we get to see that a lot, we get to see it a lot in the comics, but that's another reason why I don't like, in terms of his adaptations, they sucked because of the fact that they made him look more like the Human Torch. He's not the Human Torch. He has nothing. They have nothing in common with each other. But in every live action adaptation of him, it was like the Human Torch. And every actor that's played him sure didn't look like his comic counterpart. Indeed, they went with the stereotype of what most people think of what a Brazilian looks like, and that's not the case with Roberto. I'm glad that Marvel has started to darken his skin now, to the point where he kind of looks a lot like me now, which is fine. But if they could, I don't mind if they darken it even more. But yeah, the fact that you started to see him now with darker skin is better. I like that. So yes, Sunspot. Y'all need to step your game up, Hollywood, with casting. He should be looking more like Pele, and I'm just saying, in movies. 8, we go with Darwin. Darwin is interesting because he is damn near immortal. He can't really die. Like, that's the whole thing about him that's interesting. Darwin is also half black, and we saw him in the First Class, and I thought that was really dumb what they did with him, because he should have been able to find how to deal with whatever Sebastian Shaw did to him, because he's damn near immortal. Like, anything you try to kill him with, he will find a way to react to it and learn from it. His body like almost reacts to it. Okay, I found a way to keep myself from getting killed by that again. Okay, next. That's one thing I like about Darwin. I was like, okay, that's really cool. Now, Darwin was also, he's one of the X-Men that, once again, that came out of Deadly Genesis. He was created by Ed Brubaker, and Brubaker made this story that, yeah, before Storm and Colossus and Nightcrawler and all those characters came about, Professor Xavier trained another team to go in and save the original X-Men from Krakoa, and Darwin was a part of it. I'm not a big fan of Deadly Genesis. I'm not, because it just made Professor Xavier look like a dick. It really did. I don't like that. I really don't like that. But outside of that, Darwin was probably the one of the two characters that really still survived from him and Vulcan, but Darwin survived. He's still around, so that's cool. I do like Darwin. If they do bring him back in live action, I want him to look more like his comic counterpart and not so human, because he doesn't look that human at times. He looks very alien-like, but he's still cool though. Number 9 on the list, we go with Joanna Cargill, aka Frenzy. She was never always an X-Men. That's the one thing about Frenzy. She started out as being a part of Magneto's group, and later on she became a bounty hunter, and then she was also something else I forget. She became part of the X-Men. She is a part of the new version of Sword. She is a part of that. And what Joanna, first of all, Joanna's tall. She's a tall woman, like she's very tall. But she is basically the equivalent of Luke Cage. That's basically what she is. She's that way. Her skin is very hard, like Luke Cage. She has super strength and things like that. And her strength, they say her strength is on par with the likes of She-Hulk and things like that. So that's pretty strong. But I like her. Her look now is cool because she has like a flowed back mohawk. Before that, it came over to it was like her hair was tilted to the side. It was cool too. But Joanna Cargill is cool. She's earned her stripes. But yeah, she's pretty much fun. And number 10 on the list is we go with Oya. Oya, who became like another one of Wolverine's little project sidekicks. in terms of, you know, Wolverine always has like these young female sidekicks. It went from Shadowcat to Jubilee to Armor, now to Oya. Oya is interesting because she's a part of what was known as the Five Lights. The Five Lights were the first mutants that were born after M-Day and after all that, before Hope found her. Now, Oya is interesting because she has temperature-based manipulation. She can use fire and ice. So if anything like Firestar can do, she can do that, and anything like, say, Iceman can do, she can kind of do that as well. But not on Iceman's level. She can do fire and ice. So she's like a cryomancer and a pyromancer at the same time. She's still around. You don't see her as much as you used to, but she's still young. They always base her off. She's still very young, but she's still very cool. I like when people have like 2 base powers sets. That's cool. Like you have fire and ice, or you have like, you can do electricity and something else. It's really cool just what she can do with her powers. But like I said, it's not on the same level as like Iceman or somebody like that, but it's still cool. And her eyes sometimes will glow the color of whatever power she uses. So if she's using just her cold powers, her eyes will go blue. Fire, her eyes will turn like orange, yellowish. If she's using both, one eye will be one color, the other eye will be another color. So it's very cool indeed. She's cool. So guys, there you have it. Those are my top 10 black X-Men characters on the X-Men. There are a lot of other characters in the X-Men that are African American, that are black. There's Maggot. You know, I like Maggot, but he's you know, there's other characters. You know, Bishop's sister Shard. You know, there's so many others. There's I'm forgetting his name right now. Prodigy. I like Prodigy. He's cool. You know, he's the brains. He's very smart. Things like that. But those are my 10. What are your 10? You tell me in the comment section down below, guys. What are your favorite black X-Men characters? And with that wraps up my opinion spot contributions to Black History Month. As always, this was fun. It was always good. And now I'll be back on schedule of what was planned before Black History Month came around for the opinion spot. So it'll be different. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time as always.